recording.
You didn't trick me. I got it right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Knights of the Lunch Table podcast. Gonna date this episode a little bit, but we just got past the month of Valentine's Day. Is kind of yeah. But
corporate money grab holiday.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But to that note, today we're going to be talking about dating. A lot of things that we either like, hate, wish that would change, or just general thoughts on dating.
Yeah. Now,
I know I got a few ideas.
First of all, I want to preface everything we're about to say with none of us, as far as I understand, are currently dating.
Nope.
You know,
at the moment.
Just so that there may be some bias on certain issues and, some bias the other way on other issues, but, just...
And a lot of our comments don't reflect on everyone. It's just certain situations that we've been in.
Yes.
I would also like
our experiences.
I don't think any of us are bitter about not dating anyone right now.
No.
I think we're all
different.
Content. Like, just so people aren't out there like, oh, they're just upset because they ain't getting none or whatever. But yeah, no, we chillin'.
Yes and no.
We just have.
Well, Tyler and I are
comments.
okay with it.
Anyway, would anyone care to start us off then? Otherwise,
I think you two should have your go.
Fantastic.
Kyle's like, you guys just go off.
So
both have been very vocal about it before.
So, I actually have something that's been kind of recently bugging me, and I wouldn't necessarily count this as dating, but dating apps.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I would say we're probably just going to shorten it down just dating apps on this episode.
That's all you need to say for most guys out there.
Pretty much. But my biggest problem, and obviously a lot of this has to come down to apps can't control their users, but the bot accounts.
Oh,
yeah, that's a major
the times, and like, I've had to change the way I look at these apps, being like, okay, there's about a 75% chance that this specific account I'm looking at is fake. Because there's no way that kind of person would be, first of all, in my area, and just a lot of their pictures are like, oh, I'm traveling the world, I just happen to be in the area at this time. Yeah, fucking stop.
Yeah, no, I have a very similar thing. I currently live in a nondescript, very small population area, at least like within a few miles. Like, you have to drive at least like 10 miles to get to, a decent population center. And I'll get all kinds of things where it'll be like, this person is in your, like, town. Well, I'm not talking about the browser ads, just for the record.
No.
If I were to swipe through on, like, Tinder or something, hashtag not sponsored,
Tinder to Buble.
There'd be, like, friggin' 30 people, like 30, people that are just all allegedly in the same town that I'm in. And I'm like, if that were true, I would know some of them.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is like, this would be a very recognizable person in this town. I'm sorry, there's just some people that don't look like that. It's not a thing.
Also, like, some funny point that I remembered when you talked about, like, the bots on dating apps. There's been a couple times where, like, I would just mess with them.
Ah, yes.
Like, as they're trying to, like, get my bank account. And, like, one of them went for, like, 3 days on and off.
See, I've been doing something that I highly recommend you guys try. Like, when they'll ask for, like, a picture or something, I send them something that's not even a close, remote picture of me. It's something, like, of my cat, or this weird picture I took yesterday of, and I'm not bringing this up to put in the episode, but I was driving to the supermarket the other day, and some lady was shoveling snow in the back of the lot with, like, a hand shovel. I questioned this girl because there is 7 piles of snow between her and the shop. So I'm just so I send those kinds of pictures, and when they ask, do I look like an idiot? I'm like, Like, they've been getting smarter. I will admit that, and it's
Do you
kind of
think
scary.
I'm an idiot? Do you want me to answer that question?
Do you want the honest answer? Do you want this conversation to keep going?
Like, especially with all the AI bots and stuff now. Like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit's going nuts.
But again, they're
Yeah.
getting smarter, and it's scary.
Yeah, but it got to the point basically where, like, the person I was talking to, like, dropped the act of trying to scam me and just started just like, come on, just give me the information I want.
Yeah,
Hey,
they just,
at least they were
they get
upfront.
so frustrated they just
They're just,
drop
like, tired
the
of
whole,
it.
like,
And it's just-
thing, and they're just like, dude, look, I'm trying to scam you. Just give me your information so we can get this done. Like,
That was
Oh,
my crowning achievement for
oh, God,
that.
that's
That-
like
you know,
that one
I
YouTuber,
applaud
I
you.
forgot his name, but he does like scam calls. Like he'll listen.
Oh,
He'll get called by scammers and
Yeah.
just mess with them.
yeah,
And, like,
I
he does
actually
that.
follow him.
And sometimes he'll just be like, "Level with me. You trying to scam me?" Like there will be a pause. The guy will be like, "Yes." It's just like,
But yeah, so my biggest problem, and unfortunately, as a very niche group of introverted people like myself, I just have a problem going out and talking to people. That's a psychological thing that I don't think we need to get into right now, but dating apps are my one way of trying to get out there. But then when 75% of them are fake accounts, it's hard to try to get into the dating scene normally anymore. It
Yeah.
really is.
I mean, there is also that like psychological, like hit that one takes when they get like a match or whatever, and then it happens like it turns out to be a bot.
Yeah.
Like that's unavoidable. Like everyone, at least in their subconscious, takes a hit when that happens. So like that's,
They're like, oh.
yeah, but,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not.
Or you match with someone and they don't, like, respond to anything.
Oh, well,
It's like they were just, like, swiping on everyone.
Yeah.
well, like the event that I told you guys about the other day where I had messaged her. It was a real person. And I waited 4 to 5 days. She had read the message. I waited a couple more days. And I replied well, that was fast. And then she just kind of goes off on me. I'm like, well, first of all,
Now you talk.
yeah, no shit. When I say something offensive is when you finally speak up. And mind you, it wasn't offensive. I said, that was fast. That was the only words I said, which, yeah, that's what she said, but shut up.
But yeah.
But, like, yeah, dating apps really need to be fucking reworked.
Yeah, I don't have a problem talking to people, like in public or whatever, just out in the open. My thing is, I am always concerned with not being rude.
Yeah.
Like, I have a weird, like, unless somebody's like my friend, then I'd joke around and stuff. But in terms of like strangers, I try my best to not be rude to people and like be polite and respect boundaries and all that. So I never know if it's okay to ask somebody out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always like, well, like I don't want them to like be, they're just going about their day and then some random dude just comes and asks them out. Like I ain't trying to ruin their whole day doing that. Which might be a confidence issue,
Yeah.
but for me, it's more like a just, like they're just going about their day. I ain't trying to bother them. Like,
Yeah.
Especially if they're, like, at work or something.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, that's
again,
There's those
too, like-
people that try to, like, ask them out while they're
yeah,
at
like
work.
if they're at work,
They're just, like, trying to get through their
if they're
day.
at work,
Uh,
they can't go. Like they can't leave. They're like stuck in the scenario basically. Like the most they can do is like go to the back room, but like
Yeah.
well, like, there's this guy, and on YouTube, his name is Matthew. I'm gonna butcher it, but it looks like Hussey. It's Hussey. I'm not making this up. But he has a video from forever ago that he talks about shit like that exact statement of, I don't want to, like, she looks busy. I don't want to mess with her today. If I say the wrong thing, it looks like she's going to kill me kind of thing. And that mindset of, I don't want to bother her is one of the problems with specifically men in dating scenes now. Cause it's like, okay, when do I have not necessarily the okay to do it, but I need to know when is an acceptable time, and I need to know that this is an acceptable act. thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, it's less about being, like, acceptable, more, it's, like, it genuinely just, I don't want to bother people, basically. I'm just like, you know, because I wouldn't like it if I were going about my day, and then somebody came up to me and, like, took up some of my time about shit that I wasn't interested in, you know?
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I fucking go away. You know? And I don't want others I don't want to make others feel that way. But that is why I do appreciate the fact that dating apps exist, because, like...
That's the point of the whole thing.
Supposedly, the entire concept of dating apps is to go on dates, to get asked out, like, to ask others out.
It's the whole point. You aren't inconveniencing someone. There's a time and a place that they can check it at their own
leisure. Like, if everyone in real life walked around with, like stickers...
App statuses.
That just, like, said that if they were single, if they were willing to be asked out, all that kind of stuff, that'd be fucking cool. I'd be down with that.
I say, a while back when I lived at a different apartment with a bunch of people, we had a party one night, and what we did was we bought, like, 4 different colored cups. One was for single, one was for it's complicated, one was for, you know, involved, and then a fourth one, I don't remember what the color was, but that was our idea, and it worked.
See, I feel like I'd go more, like, obvious than that, not just single, or, you know, because sometimes even people that are single aren't trying to, you know.
Well, yeah, but that was the whole point of the party, was to, like, dating stuff. So it worked out really well in our favor, which I have another story to kind of leech off of that later on, but we'll get to that.
But yeah, so if everyone could just go around with, like, stickers that say, like, their kind of general status, that'd be awesome. Or, like,
looking,
maybe
not looking,
stickers,
happy
maybe
thing.
maybe like a bracelet kind of system.
A bracelet?
Not like the inappropriate one. You guys remember that at all?
No.
It used to be like a thing, like a blue meant you were, like, willing to, you know.
Oh, yep.
Black meant you were, like, down for hardcore or whatever. All that kind of.
God, that was
stupid.
That was back in middle school, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why it was so stupid, because middle schoolers were wearing, they're trying to brag that they were sexually active. Weird shit. Don't do that.
I just remember the bands that say, like, balls on them.
Balls.
I had an
That's the extent of it.
I had an I Heart Boobies bracelet.
Dude, those were the best.
Those are the best. My is tangent, but my family on my mom's side tried to ridicule me because, you know, oh, you're just wearing that because you think it's inappropriate, and, you know, and you think it's funny and blah blah blah. And they were like, and I was like, no, it's actually, like,
true.
Well, no, I'm like, no, because it was the I Heart Boobies thing was like breast cancer awareness thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, no, that's actually what it is. And they're like, oh, well, I don't see you supporting testicular cancer. And I was like, well, I mean, if there was and they're like, oh, if there was a bracelet that said I love testicles, you wouldn't wear it. And I'm like, probably not, because that's not quite funny enough. If it said I love balls, then yes, I would wear it, because that's funny.
Just going around, I love balls.
I love balls
everywhere you
and
go.
I love boobies.
Hey.
The bracelet has to have, like, fake balls off the bottom of
like
truck nuts, yeah.
For your bracelet.
Right.
Could you
They're running around us, just slapping back and forth between your hand and your arm.
Oh my god. Yo, we're tapping into an untapped market here.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
I'll get
People would buy it. I know they would.
Oh yeah. Or it would get us canceled in a heartbeat because, well, what if I didn't? Don't shut up then. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
But
anyway, back trying to veer back on the subject of dating apps. But yeah, if everyone could just have a bracelet system or something like that, that'd be sick, because then I would know who it's appropriate and, like, whose day I won't ruin by going up and talking to them.
That's fair.
But yeah, so that's my recommendation.
End of podcast recommendation.
Everyone make their status obvious, you know.
Make it known.
And some of us are oblivious as fuck. So just that whole, like, I try to make myself seem approachable. Like, that's not,
no.
You gotta, like,
You gotta hold them by the shoulders and
Ladies.
yell
Yeah,
in
like
their
some
face.
of us are.
I
Ladies,
like
we're
Some
you
of us
stupid.
are
lifting."
full fucking square brain, like 3-head, goddamn, like
Square, smooth brain. It don't make sense.
yeah. You gotta like just say things.
Hey, I like you.
Also,
Okay,
another
great.
tidbit. It's already headed this direction, which I appreciate, but it needs to go even further. We need to break the stigma of men having to be the one to ask people out.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Like, quit
Yeah.
that shit. Like, just if you like
That's a lot
somebody,
of pressure.
regardless of who's, regardless of what gender you are, regardless of what gender they are, if you like somebody,
Say that.
yeah, like, go ask them out. And I realize I'm being a bit of a hypocrite because I do the exact opposite.
But see,
But
that's
if
part
you
of
have the
the
confidence to go do it,
Do it.
and you think that it's an appropriate time to do so, go do it. Because that's the thing.
But, like,
I've been at parties where like it's kind of expected that people are gonna flirt and chit chat and ask
Yeah.
each other and stuff, and that doesn't happen. And then later on, one of the other friends at the party is like, "Yo, dude, this chick was trying to hit on you, like, and you never." He's like, you never did anything. I was like, she never fucking talked to me. What do you mean she was trying to hit on me?
See, I kind of have some shit to the obliviousness on
Oh, that's
that.
a
When
jet. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but you'll hear it on the recording. There's a jet going overhead.
cool.
Well then,
Anyway.
I look forward to it.
So a while back when I lived down near Wisconsin Dells, me and my buddy, we went out to drink one night, and one of the guys we had brought with us, he had just gotten, his life back on track. He just bought a car. His health was doing good, yada, yada. So we went out to celebrate that night. And we're sitting all over by the pool table. I was standing up because it was my shot next, so I was just sitting there waiting for my buddy to finish. And these girls come over, and for the life of me, I could not tell you. Or wait. They had kind of come over and asked, like, hey, how are you guys doing tonight? Like, they wanted to chat with us. And I'm like,
you do.
yeah, kinda. It was like, hey, how you guys doing tonight? What you up to? And we're just sitting there. We're just BSing. I'm not thinking two things about it. And I'm just like, we're chilling tonight. We're celebrating a little bit, and that's really about it. And I'm just sitting there, not even thinking about it. And then they walk away over, 5 minutes later. And both of them come up to me, dude. They're like, dude, do you realize what you just did? I'm like, what? We were just talking. Yeah, you were just talking. You weren't doing anything. She was trying to. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, bro, it's for real. 100%. I have the same thing. I can talk to somebody for a friggin' hour.
Yeah.
And then, just, it could be, a semi-stranger or just, complete stranger, at any sort of social gathering. And at the end of the thing, I'll just be like, yeah, see ya, have a good night. And some people are like, you get her phone number? I'm like,
What?
shit.
God.
I always forget
God
that
damn
step.
it.
I always forget
See,
that fucking step. That's why I need somebody
actually-
to remind me and be like, "Hey, dumbass."
Tyler, I have a small rebrand to your bracelet idea. QR codes. Scan it, you get the status, you get their name, you get their number, you get any other contact info you can from that. And it's a quick. It's something that they have to
Yeah, I
give
was gonna
you.
say maybe we could do that on the inside, the basic status.
Yeah.
Is this,
Yeah.
just that.
Yeah,
But
the
then
one
on the
color, and then you
inside,
flip
can
it
scan
over.
the code.
QR code. Yeah.
Because that does feel weirdly that feels less invasive than asking for a phone number somehow.
Yeah, because then it's like here's me giving permission to you to contact me any way you want. I'm not a big phone conversation guy.
It's
but
literally just because there's a weird not a stigma, but there's a sort of social pressure, yeah, of the hey, can I get your phone number? That's already embedded. So now you can just be like, hey, yo, can I scan your code?
Your code.
Weirdly, that there's an integrated disconnect there.
Yeah,
that might actually be a good idea. Even if the QR code just leads to the phone number,
yeah. But see, with that, then if people I'm trying not to plug our Linktree, but linktree.com/procrastinationstudio. But basically, that's what the QR code does. Whatever you want to put on there is what the other person will get access to.
So the one problem I have with that, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit, is that so there are scenarios where people want to seem amicable, and like whether they feel unsafe in the situation or whatever, so they don't want to say no, but they don't want to actually give out their information. Like that's a scenario.
And
where
again, then there's a flip side. You can scan a different QR code, or you can give that out to a different way.
Yeah,
like you have one side that's this is
like,
actually my stuff.
People would know, like people would learn about these bracelets, and that's how they work, and they would know that they're being given the wrong information. Whereas if you just write down an incorrect phone number, they have no way of knowing.
Actually, no, there's a way around that. So, say you go out to a party, you see the cute girl in the corner, she's all by herself, you're like, you know what, screw it. I have enough confidence, I'm going to go over and talk to her, ask her number. Y'all are sitting there BSing for 5 minutes or so, and you finally ask, hey, can I get your number? I want to call you later. Read the number back to her wrong. 1 digit wrong. If she corrects it, it's a proper phone number. If she doesn't, she's giving you a fake number.
Okay, see, here's the thing, though. There are reasons why people give fake numbers, so
yeah, but that if
challenge them on that.
But that's kind of the mindset, though. If you understand, hey, they're giving me a fake phone number, they don't want to talk to me, that's fine.
Right. I just wanted to make it clear that to random people out there, if it turns out that they've given you a wrong phone number, don't push them on it. Just be like,
that's what I mean, though. It's like, hey, don't go up, hey, you gave me the wrong number. No, just be like, okay, you gave me a false number for a reason. I won't pursue, kind of thing. That should be in the mindset of that kind of
right. I'm just saying, you don't even have to bring that up or nothing. Just be like, okay, cool, thanks, and then go. Don't be.
Yeah,
I'm just saying because I can see people being aggressive about that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If the aggression wasn't a part of the problem, then a lot of these solutions that we're giving would be very nice for other people. But
I don't know. I'm just saying, for the most part, just if a girl wants you to, or guy for that matter, wants you to contact them, genuinely wants you to, they will make sure you get the proper contact information.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
Yeah.
Kyle, you got anything about the apps or the numbers and such?
I mean, I'm not really one to go out and, date in a public situation, so I've been trying. I've tried apps on and off.
That's fair.
I'm finding they really don't work.
Really
They're
don't.
not.
Yeah,
good.
I was gonna say the problem I've seen with apps is as much as they try to differentiate themselves from each other,
it's all the same thing.
It's every app is the same app for the most part.
It's the equivalent of Tinder, hot or not.
Yeah, well, and maybe they have a gimmick where it's what's the one?
Bumble
is one where
that's what I was thinking
first.
Yeah, that's Bumble's thing.
And I think there's another.
Then you just don't get asked out at all.
There's another. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing. I appreciate Bumble for trying that. I don't know how well it's worked, but
my experience not well.
But
yeah,
there's I think another one that you don't see the profile picture until you've matched or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, there's a couple ones out there where it's they try to get you to go through the profile test, which is, by the way, that's all a scam. Don't believe it. But there's ones that try to match you with your same personality type, but that whole thing's a lie because personalities change. There's ones that do that where they don't show you a picture. There was one years ago before smartphones took off where you had to wear a shirt for a week. You would send it back and they would cut it up and send it to people to see if they liked your smell.
That's so fucking weird.
What the heck?
It was so, mind you, it died within a year because they realized, hey, we're doing this free service of giving people a shirt, giving it back, and having to send it out again. And
wait,
you get those people
pay for this.
Yeah, and then they all realize we're done. Yeah, that's a weird thought to be just smelling
aside
people.
From how creepy that is, what the heck?
Yeah, again, some of the gimmicks they're trying, but
Yeah, that,
I would just like a site that has
At
very.
least it's just a shirt.
You're right.
yeah,
It
true.
could have been so much worse.
There was one that I
I-
saw that it was. I think it died really quickly, which is sad. It was called Hater, and
Oh,
obviously
yeah!
it was like HATR or whatever. But
But it was the opposite of like Tinder, where you shared dislikes.
yeah, it was
instead.
based on the shit that
Yeah.
you fucking hate, and I'm like, oh, dude, that'd be sick.
I
can go.
I was
on and
actually on that for a while.
ages about the shit that I hate.
Exactly.
Like, dude, that'd be sick. But it died, so I never got a chance to get on it.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Well, because it was always, you all hated this one very specific thing, but then you both hated something about the other person, so it just didn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Well,
It's easier to work with the lights.
I think the problem with it, I think, for the most part, is that people often, when they're talking about things that they hate, have like a negative reaction to it, like just chemically, like they get kind of turned off when they're talking about shit that they hate. For me, as an opposite example, I don't fucking I actually love talking about shit that I hate.
Is that your kink?
It's not my
like being
kink,
hated?
but it just
Hey, it's okay,
brings
Tyler.
me
It's okay.
joy, not sexual pleasure, but joy to talk about things that I hate with somebody else that also hates those things.
It gives you the dopamine.
Yeah, it gets them serotonins going.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so dating apps aside, y'all's weirdest or like worst date. Y'all got any really, really good stories?
No,
I think the weirdest or worst date I've had was when I tried dating a girl with a very heavy, like, French accent.
Oh,
I don't understand a lot of accents yet because of where we grew up. There's not a lot of variation.
Well, see,
That's
the problem with
offensive.
where we grew up, and this isn't my opinion. This is actually an opinion I've heard from several people outside of the state, outside of the area, where we grow up. We have a lack of a like accent, so everything we say sounds very like plain and sometimes monotone. But then, of course, you get like people from the South, and obviously they got the drawl. You get the people from California who are, think they're above everyone and have that accent to follow through. The New Yorkers, I'm walking here. I'm Christopher Walken. Boston, I'm Christopher Walken over here. But because we don't have that, we still don't think we have an accent, but we do. It's just there a lack of anything like distinct to pick on.
okay. See,
But then you get up to Canada.
Say, like, no, there is an accent.
There
just
is.
to clarify, there
Oh, yeah.
absolutely is a Midwest accent.
Yeah, it's a very like you take Canadian, you water it down a little bit, and that's the Midwest accent. But
Oh yeah,
dear.
yeah.
Which
Oh, yeah.
I've done so like unironically and in public life, and I didn't realize it until I was done with the conversation. I'm like, God damn it!
I'm just saying the number of, I mean, even just the way you said, God damn it, I could hear it there. But the number of
Yeah.
times I've heard a Midwesterner ask for a grocery bag. Oh, it makes me
It's
want
a bag of
punch him in the
bags.
throat.
It's a bag of bags. What's the problem, there, bud? But yeah, that's another weird. I promise I'm not trying to get back into the app thing, but I've seen a lot of apps do that now, where they ask you a question and then ask you to record your like answer to it instead of just typing it. And the thing is, all of them I've heard maybe two of them that were like fully spoken and full on like, here is my. A lot of them are just so soft spoken, and I don't feel comfortable answering this, and I don't want to talk. It's like, okay, then why the fuck did you do it in the first place?
Yeah, that kind of thing is usually like, I wouldn't say it's a red flag for me. It's like a yellow flag, I guess.
It's a yellow card.
Well, it just like, it's one of those things that it's like, okay, you're clearly uncomfortable answering.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly if it's like a super basic thing. And I'm like, if you're
Yeah.
uncomfortable with that, like it kind of triggers something in me that I'm like, why are you uncomfortable answering basic information?
Well, and a lot of it can be, again, how they're raised and when they're asked questions versus when they're told to tell them an answer.
I guess
That's kind of
but,
the thing.
No, I'm just
But-
I don't know what the reasons might be, but that always is like a red flag to me. Like if you're going on an app again, or on the apps, but if you're going on an app and somebody hasn't filled out any of their information and has no pictures or like has 1 or 2 pictures,
Oh,
I'm like,
again,
either you're a bot or there's something like, and it's not always the case here.
it's a trap.
But I'm like, there's something you're hiding. Is the
Oh, yeah.
is the part of my brain that like triggers.
Again, we could probably go into like a 2-hour long episode
And
about
like you
just
may or
apps.
may not have a good reason for hiding things, but that just always is a thing that pops into my
Or
head.
I'm just not very photogenic, and I'm not good at taking pictures of myself.
There's that too.
Like I said, there's multiple reasons. I don't know what it is, but I'm not in a lot of pictures. Sometimes I do it intentionally as just like a bit, but like
yeah.
I am very rarely like in
I'd
random
say-
pictures that others have taken of me.
I want to hire somebody to take like a picture of me when I'm out, not creepily like, but like, you know, like a public photo shoot kind of thing where they take pictures of me and I decide which ones are good because posing for pictures are
Like senior photos.
Yeah, as a posing is kind of cringe unless you're good at it.
Yeah, if you are good and you have the right lighting and the right technique, yeah, you can pose all day, but I don't do good with them. And one of my base profile pictures has been from me at a job sitting in front of a front counter, but it's a good picture because the lighting was really good and I took it because somebody just wanted a picture of me at the time. And I'm like, okay, here it is. And it's been my photo ever since because my face looks good. It's right angle. It was one where I had my beard a lot longer than I do now. And I'm just like, damn,
So
I date me.
So Josh, you mentioned hiring
Yes.
somebody to just take pictures of you. Have you ever thought of it's a rare concept, but it's a thing called a friend?
What's a
You
friend?
don't have to.
They are
pay
also
them.
capable of taking pictures of you.
But what's a friend? I'm not familiar.
Also, are they good at photography?
Photography?
Photography.
Photography. What is that?
We
Photography?
should do that for each other in Oregon.
Just take a few pictures,
Pseudo-photography.
random pictures of each other.
Don't warn.
'Cause, yeah.
Don't warn anybody. Just take a picture.
Just start taking
Or if any-
snapshots. Because, like, that's...
or if anything, just be like, "Hey, yo," and then when they look, you take a picture.
Yeah. But, like, the picture I took of all of us when we went to the game down in Milwaukee, like, the picture wasn't great, but it was a genuine reaction from all of you. And I thought it was a really good photo. And I used it for a while. But
What
Anyway.
game are you referring to?
the indoor soccer game.
Oh, yeah, the wave. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought
Yeah,
you
the
were
wave.
saying, but I couldn't remember for sure.
No, I didn't take any picture of us. Except for the one we did for the escape room down in Madison, but that was about
Yeah.
it.
But anyway, I
Back to-
I remembered I do have a bad date story.
Ooh,
I
go,
just
go.
remembered.
Ooh.
Okay, so I was for first and foremost, I wasn't considering this a date. I was genuinely considering it me hanging out with a friend.
Oh.
Apparently, they considered it a date, which I think makes it
Friend-zoned.
worse.
Probably.
So
No, that's just a quiz to your
the
obliviousness.
plan, we were gonna go hang out for the day. The plan was like we were gonna go to an indoor football game, American football, like arena football. I think.
Yeah.
And we had a bunch of hours to kill before that, and I was like, well, like, what do you want to do? Because I think the thing was, I think her roommate and like their significant other were like taking up the house. They had like a date thing going on that day.
Oh, okay.
So they wanted her out of the house, and I was like, I mean, I'm free, we can hang out, whatever. So yeah, we were just driving around trying to figure something out. And I was like, oh hey, there's an ice rink. I'm like, you want to go ice skating? Like, I like ice skating. That shit's fun.
I say
You go fast. Whee!
You go fast.
And she's like, yeah, sure, why not? So we go in, and I paid, not because it was a date. First, by the way, side tangent, real quick. Let's stop with the bullshit of the guy pays every time. No. The person who pays is the person who asked out the other person. Unless y'all agree otherwise.
Or you can just split the bill and pay for your own
but
stuff.
quit expecting the guy to pay just by default. Anyway.
Yeah, he's not a personal bank.
Yeah, back on the other thing. So I paid because I was the one that came up with. I was like, yeah, I mentioned going ice skating, so I'll pay, and it was only like $10 per person anyway. So I paid. We get on the ice, we're having fun, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. Then we went to go get some food, which she paid for her food there because we were gonna go get some food. Basically, I was like, hey, where you want to go eat? I'm hungry. She was hungry, so we went and got food. We each paid for our own food, and I had already paid for the arena football tickets like a few days ago, like earlier. Because like she wasn't super interested in going to an arena football game, but I was like, I mean, that's something we can go do if you want. She's like, yeah, sure. Yeah. So then we go to the arena football game. She didn't even realize it was arena football, even though I had fucking told her it was. She thought it was baseball somehow. I'm like, for the record, the team is the Arizona Rattlers. You can fucking Google that, and immediately it tells you that they're an arena football team. So, like, don't know how the hell she thought it was baseball, but...
I mean, isn't the baseball team there, like, the Diamondbacks?
Yeah.
So, I can kind of see
but
it.
That's the She lives here. You should know that the Diamondbacks is the baseball team.
The only reason I know the Wisconsin baseball team is because of the name of the stadium is was Miller Field, and we were the Brewers, which they fucking destroyed the name, by the way. It's now American Family Field. Stupid.
Yeah, I mean, hey, down here it used to be Bank One, now it's Chase Field. And they got rid of the freaking dirt strip from the pitching mound to home, which is disappointing.
Awful.
But anyway, so yeah, we go to the game. I thought we were having a good time. Towards the end of the game, is a close game. And then she's bitching and whining that she wants to leave. And I'm like, I mean, it's a close game. Like, I'm like, it'll end in like 20 minutes, whatever, And she's like, oh, I want to get home. Like, I'm just tired. I'm like, just fucking... No. I paid for the tickets. We're staying. Which to me is a reasonable thing. Like, I paid for the tickets. I am goddamn staying for the entire event. I will never understand when people pay $50+ for a sporting event and then bail out from it before the thing ends. Even if your team is getting blown out, some cool shit could happen. But anyway.
Back to the day.
So yeah, she wants to leave or whatever. I refuse. And then, so she's pissy the whole, rest of the freaking game. So then we get, we're driving home, and she's complaining that I'm going the speed limit. Like, she's like, why are you going so slow? I'm like, speed limit's 40, I'm going 40. And she's like, oh my god, who does that? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, me.
Bitch, I do.
I'm like, I ain't trying to get a ticket. Shut up. But yeah, so she's complaining that she wanted, that we didn't leave the game early. She's complaining that I'm driving properly. And then we get back to their house, and she goes into her room, gets changed, and then leaves. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And then her roommate told me that she had gotten a Tinder date.
Ooh.
And was texting her... And was texting her roommate the entire time that she was pissed off that I wasn't getting her back home so she could go get bent. Like...
Damn.
So the fact that she thought it was a date makes that so much fucking worse. Like, I thought we were just hanging out, which is still rude as fuck to, like, try to, mid-plans, cancel and rush home so you can go get laid when you're hanging out with a friend. Like, that's fucked. And it makes it worse that she thought she was on a date with me, and then she was trying to bail on the date to go get laid. Like, what the fuck?
That's fair.
Yeah, so that's my
shitty.
shitty dating story, I guess. God, that was fucking wild.
That was a long one.
But yeah,
So
so I stopped talking to her after that, just because I was like, that's rude as fuck. I'm not dealing with that kind of person.
that's fair.
That's fair.
But so one of the dates I had was it was a normal date. We went out, got dinner. We went back to my place. We were actually just hanging out because we were surprisingly enough both tired. So we're just, we went to bed. I wake up, my fucking wallet's gone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Luckily, there wasn't a lot of money in there, but I'm not stating a lot of the shit that happened earlier because now in hindsight, yeah, I'm an idiot for going on a date with this girl. But yeah, so she took my wallet. She left the wallet downstairs, but obviously took the money, and I knew it was her because I was the only one in the house that weekend. Everyone else had gone to a LARPing event, and for those of you that don't know, that's live action role playing.
Nerd!
Big old foam. So
No, it's actually fun. I've done it.
Oh no, it's a blast, and I that's something we got to try to find when we're over on our trip, if that's possible. But anyway, so yeah, and I had messaged her. I'm like, hey, I know you just stole $40 from me. If you either bring it back or tell me why, I won't be mad. Didn't hear from her for a week. I thought she was fucking dead because I didn't see her online. I saw nothing. Then I fucking run into her at the gas station. She's buying it's like high blood pressure cough medicine or some shit. It's supposed to get you high, and you are limited on how many you can buy on those, by the way. Yeah, she was using me to buy drugs, and I was unaware of that. But that leads into some earlier shit that I'll tell you guys off of this. But yeah, so she stole from me, she used me, and obviously she got a free meal out of me because I asked her out. So that's why I don't like to date a lot of people now, because that's...
Pro dating tip, don't rob your date for drug money.
Yeah, highly recommended. At least play the long con and, like,
God.
date them, use both y'all's money to buy drugs, then you're just safe, and then you never wonder why.
Yeah. I'm curious why
Don't
she left
do that.
the wallet. That's kind of weird behavior.
I think it was a nerdy wallet and she didn't want to fucking be seen with it.
Well, right, but usually when people are stealing drug money, they're not going to be thinking about that kind of stuff.
Or at least, dump the shit outside in the trash can or something.
Well, because that was my other thought. I was like maybe she left it downstairs so that you would think that you forgot it downstairs.
No, because I wasn't drunk. That was one of the few nights I didn't go out drinking.
Yeah, that would have... I mean, that would also...
Gosh.
That would also be like, using your brain. And
yeah.
when
Again,
when
they
people
were young.
are stealing money for drugs, that's not what they're doing.
Again, they were rather young. They were just dumb. So.
Well, don't forgive them. Just.
Oh no, I absolutely did not. I eventually.
You were like, oh, they were young and dumb. Like, don't accept that
no,
kind of behavior.
that's no reason to forgive them,
regardless of what age you are.
But what was funny was actually a few years ago, I found out that she was dating one of my older brother's, like, long-lost friends. Again, I was visiting home for a while. Ran into her again. She's like, oh, hey. And she hands me the money back. I'm like, bitch, you're like I don't charge interest. I didn't actually say that, but I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. I guess you're like 8 years behind, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at least she did that. That's,
She did, but still, no reason. Because
it's still not worth forgiveness, in my opinion. But it's like, okay,
no, I even told her, I'm like,
righted your wrongs. That's a positive step.
Yeah, I even told her, I'm like, I still don't forgive you for the methods that you did with me, because that was not fair to either of us. But yeah, it was just funny. But now I think she's like married, has some kids and whatnot. So obviously she's doing better.
Well, now she's doing Tyler's match.
I will also say that being married and having kids does not inherently mean she's doing better.
Well, no, but she's like, I don't remember. She was actively doing stuff that was making her life better. She had gotten clean,
there is a divide there. Like,
no,
she had
gotten
a marriage and kids and was doing better. Not was doing better because she had a wife and kid, or a significant other and kids.
Yeah, she had a wife. But yeah, no. So
Could be.
no. I'm not discouraging that. I'm just saying that. Anyway, but yeah. So that was probably one of my more worst dates. I had ones that one of our old friends. I have to remember her name later, but we met on Bumble. Actually, weirdly enough. She reached out. She's like, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" I'm like, yeah, we went to school together. So we chatted. We went out for a while. We were talking for a good
Time out. How the hell do you not remember somebody from our fucking school? Not you. I mean, like, how do they not remember some? Like,
I mean, I quite often get like my memories mixed up of who I went to college with and who I went to high school
right. See,
with.
college is a different thing, though. That college, I'm just saying, like, in our tiny freaking.
Yeah,
like,
but
I'm not gonna
Tyler, also
names
remember
and shit. But if you show me somebody, I'll probably be able to be like, "Oh, okay, I think."
Well,
that's
yeah,
what it is.
that was part of the thing. Was if you look at a picture from me in high school, because I was a lifeguard at the time, I could not have a beard. It was actually against company policy, which now it's not, and it fucking pisses me off. But I wasn't allowed to have a beard back then. And then I've changed jobs, several times. Now they don't care about facial hair. And I grew it out pretty significantly. So it was a lot different than what I looked like back then. And it also was the name thing. I had shortened it, not full name. But yeah, I have the same problem where I will recognize people. I will never know from where, but then they'll state something that I'm like, holy shit, I went to school with you, didn't I? Or like, I used to work with you 5 years ago or some shit, and no idea why it triggered, but yeah, so anyway, back to the day. We had talked, we agreed, hey, we're going to go out, we're going to get some food, we're going to go see a movie, possibly go swimming depending on how the night goes. We didn't end up going swimming. No. For those of you not understanding, he sent me something in Discord that was... No.
It was a shortened version of your name.
No, it's not. Anyway. So, we go out, we eat, we're chatting, we're talking. And I've probably stated this joke a time or two ago. But I'm not a religious person by any means. I don't believe in it. I don't have time for it. And I don't care. If you believe in it and that's your shtick, go ahead. Be my guest. But, I had made a joke about religion that she's like, oh, well, do you go to church often? I'm like, I haven't gone to church since I was little. And the last time I went, I was like 7 years old and I burned my feet on the ground. So I wasn't, I make the joke that I'm not allowed to step on holy ground anymore. Mind you, I was 5 years old walking barefoot on brand new, like, blacktop road.
That's
I was a dumb
for all
child.
of you normal people.
But yeah, so I made that joke. She didn't quite like it. We still went to the movie because I had already paid and everything, but she told me later on, she's like, yeah, as a religious person, I didn't find that joke funny, and, we shouldn't date. I'm like, you know what? That's fair. If that would have been the only thing that would have set us apart, hey, I feel like we could have been really good, but I understand religion is really important to a lot of people, so I didn't push her. I'm like, you know what? That's fair. You have every right to follow your beliefs. I apologize that the joke was not in good taste, and that I haven't seen her ever again.
It all works out in the end.
You had a much nicer response to the whole like, do you go to church thing. I always have to fight off the urge to say some shit like no, I don't. I prefer not to, volunteer for indoctrination.
But you went to the American school system.
Yeah, I didn't volunteer for that.
That's right. But yeah, so that was definitely one of the weirder ones. I also went on a date with a girl when I was 18. She was 35. I didn't realize it till after the date.
Josh is an old lady fucker.
Damn.
Hey.
I mean, we're almost there.
I was saying, we're almost
there.
there.
Old
Give a
lady
few
fucker.
more
Old
years.
lady fucker.
I guess, Kyle, to be fair, she would be almost 60 now, so that's fair.
I mean,
Oof.
I'm
Well,
not.
55.
Age. I
I'm
mean,
not
go
gonna
for it.
lie. If there was a 50-year-old that was good looking, I'd hit it. Like,
Oh, no, that's another app that exists, is like old women for young men,
like the
young,
cougar thing.
the cougar and the sugar daddies thing is really fucking weird.
No, I need
by
a
the
sugar
way,
mama cougar. That's what I need.
but I need a sugar
I
mama.
got the sugar, bro.
But she got to mama. Anyway, but yeah, so other than that, anybody got any last minute things before we wrap this up?
I kind of want to just in general. There's no
Okay.
segue to this. This is just straight up different thought.
That's fine.
Everyone, lower y'all standards a little bit. You know, like I'm not saying go out and
Be
date literally
reasonable
everyone,
with lowering
but
your
yeah, be
standards.
reasonable. We were talking about this a little bit, before we were recording the other day, and just if you have a standard set for somebody, make sure you meet or at least close to that standard. For example,
Yeah.
if you have a thing about height, that everybody gotta be X amount of height,
6'5".
you
And
have
you're
to
4'3".
match that somehow, or at least be willing to accept that others are allowed to deny you for, other sort of reasons.
I can't be 6'2" and have a woman that likes
example-
me because of my height, and she's 5'1".
For example, yeah, if a woman wants a guy that's 6 feet tall, then he is allowed to turn you down because you're too tall or you're too short. That's how that works. That is fair, and vice versa.
Damn, can I have a tall mommy?
If if you're a guy and you want a girl that's under 5 feet tall or under 5'2", and she turns you down because you're not 6 feet tall, that's fair. Preferences are
It
fine.
is acceptable.
Requirements are not.
It is acceptable for people to not like other people. That's a thing that can happen.
But at the same time, you gotta you gotta have a bit of an.
You got to be willing to compromise a little bit.
Like it's fine to want somebody that's 6 feet tall, but you should at least give somebody a chance if they're not. You know.
You can't turn down 5'11" and think because they're that inch shorter that they're not a good
Exactly,
person.
and like
If that's the only thing that's wrong with them,
I
then,
get that there's drastic changes. Like, for example, if you're looking for somebody that's 6 feet tall, sure, maybe you don't swipe right on somebody that's 5'6". But like, just have a bit of leeway. Be reasonable, and then don't.
They could wear platform shoes.
And then also don't get pissy when people don't accept your, kind of thing. Like, another example that is super common is weight. A lot of times people are like, nope, can't be over 300 pounds, but then that person is 300 pounds. It's like, you don't get to make that, that a requirement. Like, that's not fair. Like, you have to reach that point before you're allowed to put that, as a limiter. Sick of that shit. Stop it. Lower your own expectations. There's like a there's a Bo Burnham song actually that mentions that, and one of the lines in there is that you gotta lower your expectations because Prince Charming wouldn't settle for you, and that's goddamn true. Everyone,
Oh God, what
on
the fuck is the
all
line?
parts of the spectrum, be willing to lower your expectations.
There's a
Also, remember, it's Prince Charming, not Prince Extremely Fucking Hot. So,
that's
in mind.
a good one. But no, there was a line to kind of make that funny was my knight in shining armor is actually an idiot in tinfoil. Calm down. He's out there, but just don't expect him to be 100%.
But yeah, I've seen that a bunch all around. Friggin' people being like, "Oh no, you gotta be this, you gotta be that," or "I'm not dating you," and it's like that's not.
It's not how to
I'm like, bro, see, that's the thing too. Especially if you're on a dating app, there's a fucking reason you're on a dating app. Like,
well, and
you have to
the
realize
apps do
that.
have. The apps do have things that you can set up for preferences.
Yeah.
So
right, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
if
people
you're
will
setting
set their preferences, and then anyone that doesn't perfectly match them, they automatically swipe left. And I'm like, bro. Like I said, there's a reason you're on a dating app. Like, you can't have the same preferences, like in air quotes real life. Like, when you transition to a dating app, you have to recognize that, like, oh, I'm on a dating app because I can't get a date. My previous attempts haven't worked. So it's not just, switch over to dating app, same preferences. No, like, lower that shit. Accept reality.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'll take it that that's Tyler's tip of the
Basically,
episode.
yeah. Let me say it in a little bit more of.
Change your
Let me say it in
standards.
a little bit more positive language. Accept what is available. Don't expect what isn't.
Fair enough. Kyle, you got anything? Fantastic.
Come back to me.
Fantastic. Thanks. My biggest thing probably leads back to the dating apps kind of situation of just, oh god, what the fuck? I had it too before I'd said the dating apps word, but you know, people are gonna be different. Just be prepared for that. As much as they put up a front on the app, in person they could be a completely different, like, more enjoyable person if you just give them the chance.
They
you don't
could
have
also
to like
be
everybody
a psycho,
go on a
just to keep that in mind.
yeah, they'll keep it safe. But like, I am a horrible person on book. In person, I'm a great guy to hang out with. But you know, that's me. I'm sure there's a dozen other situations that mirror that. So be acceptable of a lot of people's shortcomings. A lot of times it's not their fault. So Kyle.
Alright. I think I have one.
Okay.
So, people should know that it's okay to be single. Like, you don't need a relationship to be happy. You should be able to be happy by yourself. You gotta find happiness before expecting to get it from others anyway. So, find your happiness before you find love, ideally.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or at least beyond that
That
track.
is a good one.
Like,
Love yourself before you can love someone else.
Otherwise, you're just gonna end up potentially taking away from others because you can't love yourself.
Yeah.
you know, it's definitely.
Alright.
Dating somebody isn't all like that's not a fixed, like, you know.
It's not going to fix you. If anything, it should want you to fix yourself.
So yeah, that's our tips, I guess. We got, you know, don't look to date somebody to make you happy, you know. Like, you know, just you gotta be happy, then date somebody.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, expect.
Nobody expects suspension.
Spanish Inquisition.
Anyway,
And
and
lower your standards.
lower your standards. Accept what you can, you know, reasonably attain.
Yeah.
You know, quit trying to reach for the absolute tippy top.
Now, Kyle, where can they find all of our links?
They can find our links at linktree.com/procrastinationstudios.
All right, everybody, bye.
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 Valentine's Day sucks.